on the line right now. From the first lineup announcement, very exciting indeed, I believe, from the Flaming Lips, I'm being connected to Mr. Wayne Coyne.
Are you guys connected?
I hope so.
Well, you're connected with me. Hello.
Hello, Wayne. It's Lindsay from Triple J. Thanks for chatting to us today.
All right. Well, thank you, Lindsay. All right.
Hey, I'm stoked. You guys are coming back to Australia for the Falls Festival at the end of the year and Southbound in the early New Year.
We are, yes. I mean, for someone who's from the Midwest in America, the word Tasmania is already like, oh, my God. You know, we're playing New Year's Eve in Tasmania. Do they even have, like, you know, houses of running water there? You know, it feels as though you're going into some other dimension almost.
And I can tell you, if anyone wants to text in from Marion Bay, I'm pretty sure I've been there at the Falls Festival. There is running water, and it is tasty, clean, beautiful water. So you'll be fine.
Right.
But I can understand you haven't had time to think too much. You have had quite a busy time recently. You have just won yourselves a Guinness World Record.
Yes. Now I kind of feel like we've recovered a little bit, but you don't have any idea how exhausting. You have to remember we started playing at 7 o'clock at night. It goes all the way till 7 o'clock the next day. So into the morning, I think we felt the worst. And then this second win, we have a lot of great fans that are encouraging us the whole way. And so little by little, all the stress and strain is leaving you. So by the time we got to the last show, if you didn't know any better, you'd think, you know, this is like one of your greatest shows you've ever played. You must feel great. And even though we finished at about 8:30 that evening, I was still very wired, you know. I was in the mood to celebrate, but I laid down and then I realized, oh, my God, I don't know if I'll be able to move for a couple of days. And the thing that I think made it all wonderful, we had this group of fans that had their own bus, so about 50 of them, traveling with us from place to place. So every time we would show up someplace, they would be the ones cheering us. So you walk in there thinking, oh, this is going to be horrible. You see these wonderful fans, and suddenly you're like, this is going to be great. You know, you can't predict that magic that's going to happen.
I can imagine, though, over, like, you know, if it wasn't a 24-hour tour and, like, sort of a 6-week tour, every time you turned up and saw the same busload of people waiting for you, it could get a little draining.
Well, right. We would remind ourselves of the beauty of the shortness. It's sort of like, you know, people forget that it's not that painful if it's short. You know, pain is really painful if it goes on a long, long time. You know, so humiliation can go on for a long time. You know, but no, I mean, the Guinness Book of World Records, it's not about playing 8 good shows, you know, and so I think it would have been very easy to go up there and just make any sounds you can for 15 minutes, move on to the next place. But we weren't interested in that. I mean, we really wanted these special little shows to be something that if you didn't see it, you missed it, you know, and it really was. So we played songs that we'd never played before. You know, a lot of it was just we wanted the music to matter. We wanted it to be good or as good as we could make it.
Wayne Coyne's on the phone. You actually told me last time I spoke to you, you said you were hanging out with Nick Cave, working on some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, how cool is that? I think little by little, this idea of Australian artists and the Flaming Lips, that's becoming more and more. I know. I forget that the Tame Impala boys are from Perth. To me, it's just music. It could be from anywhere in the world. But I first met them, I believe it was in Japan, at a festival a couple of years ago, and they had approached me with a couple of their CDs to give to me. I didn't know who they were or anything. And they were glowing with such glee, and they wanted me to come into the dressing room and jam with them. And I said, well, I can't do that because I'm getting ready to play. But I held on to their CDs, listened to their music, and thought it was great. I've seen them play a bunch around America, and we've played with, I believe there's an offshoot band called Pawns. Funny coincidences, you know, we were trying to get another artist, I forget, maybe it was an Ariel Pink. I think we were trying to get him to work on this song, and he couldn't. His schedule wouldn't work out, and Kevin was up in the studio with Dave Fridman, which is, I was getting ready to go to the studio, so Kevin was going to be leaving on the day that I got in there, and so I drove up there to be there a little bit earlier, and we ended up working for about 9 hours together doing this track together. But a lot of it was just based on coincidence, and that he knows that I love him and I love his music, and I know his addition, what he would add to the Flaming Lips music would be great and unique and all that. But a lot of these things that we did were kind of based on just luck and good timing. I mean, some of it you couldn't have predicted.
Just sneak on in, just put yourself in the right place, and then the right things will happen. There's so many, like on this album, the Flaming Lips and Hedy Fuentes, Edward Sharpe, Bon Iver, Neon Indian, Jim James from My Morning Jacket, Yoko Ono, for goodness sake, I'm talking to Wayne Coyne from Tame Impala. Sorry, Wayne Coyne from the Flaming Lips.
I could be in Tame Impala. I could join them for a little bit. That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be amazing. I don't want to even. That's going to blow my mind.
I think we've really started to feel like Australia is. We really are having a great, an audience down there. Then there's a lot of love and a lot of understanding and a lot of belief in our music and stuff. So it's wonderful.
I can definitely say at the Harvest last year, the Harvest Festival in Brisbane, they were Flaming Lips fans in the crowd. It was amazing. Hey, and you said you heard Kevin from Tame Impala recording the new album. Can you tell us what did it sound like?
Well, I think that's because I'm a lot cooler than you are, see, and then I get to know things that you wouldn't know.
Of course. Your brand new album, full of so many collaborations, including one with Kesha. Now, apparently, Kesha gave you a tattoo. I didn't know she was a tattooist.
Yeah, I mean, you only get to know that if you're invited to her house, see, and so we showed up. She has a tattoo gun. And if you see her in person, she has a lot of crappy tattoos around, like, her feet and her hands, because she's getting the gun to kind of work, The gun will get a little gunked up, and she'll do a little scratch test on her wrist or on her ankle. And she's wonderful. We go in there, and she's like, well, I got to give you a tattoo. That's just what we do. And I was like, well, I don't really have any tattoos. But within about 20 minutes, I mean, she's so charming and so fun that you say, well, of course, if I can get a tattoo from Kesha, I would have one. And so she gave me this great tattoo that's on my toe there, which hurt like hell, but it was a lot of fun. And now I feel certain I should just get a bigger one, on my hand or something like that.
So all I know about Kesha is that she cleans her teeth with a bottle of Jack. So I don't know about the hygiene situation of the tattoo, but it looks good on the front cover, a little smiley face on your second toe. Wayne Coyne from the Flaming Lips is on the phone. One of the beautiful songs on this album is the 10-minute slowcore version of Roberta Flack's The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. Now, I know there was some issue with Erykah Badu in the video, but you've found a way to get over all that with another excellent singer.
Well, yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but what we have in the works, I believe Amanda Palmer is having me direct a video of one of her songs. And in the meantime, I asked her if she would want to be the Erykah Badu, and, let's redo the Erykah Badu video with Amanda Palmer. And once she saw it, she said, oh, absolutely, I'd do that in a heartbeat. That'll be a great video. So give it another month or two, and we'll have this other version up there. And I'm sure it will be controversial, and it will have references to the Erykah Badu thing as well. And so for me, I'm only doing it because I think Amanda's going to be a lot of fun.
And she has that song, Map of Tasmania, and you're coming to Tasmania for New Year's Eve.
Well, I wasn't aware of that. Well, even better. There you go.
The Falls Festival in Lorne and Marion Bay and the Southbound Festivals. The Flaming Lips will be there. I'm guessing the Inflatable Ball will be making another appearance in Australia?
I think so. Well, I mean, I think that's part of the reason that, you have the Flaming Lips coming is because it becomes a bigger spectacle. And we know it's still based on this idea of emotion and music and stuff like that. But, having great things to look at and laser beam shooting everywhere and stuff, it's just wonderful. I think it really is about a party at some point.
Have you got any other Guinness World Record plans, including, I would imagine, the longest running consistent stage show featuring a giant inflatable ball? That has got to be a world record.
Well, we don't really think about the idea of breaking a record. I mean, the things that we do are based on music and art. And if in the process, the ability to break a world record, what you must do if you want to be in the Guinness Book of World Records is you have to call Guinness, and they have to organize the whole thing. You have to pay them quite a bit of money.
So you can't just say, look at the videos. I've been coming out on stage out of a giant vagina and then into a giant ball for like years. Come on.
No. They would say, well, you didn't invite us, so we don't really know what happened. So, I mean, they do have a very strict criteria of how you can get in there. If you feel like if you get drunk one night and you want to eat 10 pounds of live earthworms, don't do it. Call Guinness and then do it. Because if you do it without them, you may have eaten a lot of worms, but you won't get into the Guinness Book of World Records for it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wayne Coyne.
Excellent. Well, it's always good. Thank you for having me.
It's the Doctor on Triple J.